Happening now, Oishei Children's Hospital makes the move to their new facility in Buffalo today. A new grant from the United Way awarded to help fight poverty.
I'm Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. It is, if I can be frank, freezing out here. I'll let you know how long that cold lasts in that full First Defense forecast coming up.
Boy, in sports, it was a busy night. Look at this scramble by Russell Wilson, and the completion will tell you what happens next in sports.
That's news now for Friday, November 10th, 2017.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us and happy Friday. I'm Justin Gould. Our top story, a bone-chilling freeze and temperatures are near record lows today. Our chief forecaster Dakota Hunter is standing by live outside of our downtown studios with a look at your extended forecast for today. Dakota, you look kind of cold out there.
We're going to stay in the mid-20s throughout the day today. We should top out around 24. The wind will stay up a little bit, so that will bring down the wind chill value. So you need to bundle up if you're going out today. It is just frigid. It get worse tonight when the temperatures drop into the lower teens with single-digit wind chills possible. We'll talk more about that full First Defense 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes. Reporting live from downtown Jamestown, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter for WNY News Now. Back to you, Justin.
All right, Dakota, please stay warm. Thank you very much. Well, Sheriff Joe Gerasi is speaking out about drivers who take unnecessary chances on icy roadways. Gerasi urges drivers to consider the conditions and allow yourself a little extra time to get where you're going.
Well, the number of crashes, I wouldn't say is dramatically lower. Our fatal car crashes are down, which is awesome, and it would be amazing if we had a year where we had no fatal car crashes. But the seriousness of the injuries and the number of injury versus non-injury accidents, that's significantly different. We're getting fewer people injured, but there's still crashes. People go in ditches and culverts, trees and stuff in the winter months because they're driving too quickly, can't stop, or lose control of their vehicle. So right now we got our first little taste. People should be rushing out to get their car ready for winter if they haven't already done it. Get the snow tires on, get those wiper blades changed over so you can see, and take time to scrape your car off so you can see what's going on around you and be safe for the rest of us that are sharing the road with you.
And again, Dakota will have more coming up in weather. In other news, this week we reported that the United Way of Southern Chautauqua County was appointed to oversee the Empire State Poverty Initiative. The process involved 13 local nonprofit agencies vying for grant money to help them fight poverty. The United Way formed a 25-member task force who then reviewed proposals from agencies detailing how they would reduce the impact and prevalence of poverty in our area. Well, that process is now over, and a committee has announced the winning proposals. As follows: Chautauqua Adult Daycare Community Helping Hands, the Resource Center, the Mental Health Association of Chautauqua County, Jamestown Community College, and Jamestown Public Schools, along with the YWCA of Jamestown. You can read more about this story and the Poverty Initiative by heading to our website, WNYNewsNow.com. 3 Allegheny County teens have been charged with criminal negligent homicide after a trip to Rochester to buy heroin turned deadly for one of their friends. State police say Wellsville resident Robert Murray Jr. and Andrew Ellicott of Andover, both 19, along with 17-year-old Spencer Carl, also of Wellsville, took a trip to buy those drugs with 18-year-old Gregory Dunn, who reportedly sniffed some heroin on the way back. According to a media release, the boys allegedly witnessed Dunn passed out, but assumed that he was sleeping. They eventually realized that he wasn't breathing, and they wanted to take him to the hospital. Instead, they made stops at 2 of the boys' homes to drop them off. They eventually did drop the boy off at the ER, where he was pronounced dead. Coming up next, a local event bringing awareness about suicide is on the calendar. And later on, we check back in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter about our first taste of snow. That's all coming up.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A local event at a church next week will honor people who fight to bring awareness about suicide. The local Survivors Day will take place at St. Luke's Episcopal Church on North Main Street here in Jamestown next Saturday. Peer support, healing activities, and meditation services are planned. The Western New York chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide is involved in this event. Buffalo's new John R. Oshai Children's Hospital, formerly Women's and Children's Hospital, has officially opened its doors to patients. This morning, the hospital began transferring patients from the old site to the new facility on Buffalo's Niagara Medical Campus. Kaleida Health plans to have all patients move into the new hospital within 24 hours. Officials there are recommending that drivers avoid the area while the move takes place. Well, Walmart is on its way to hiring 250,000 veterans. The company said Thursday that it's hired 188,000 vets since 2013. That's the year it first pledged to hire thousands of ex-military service members. A Walmart spokesperson says more than 26,000 have been promoted. Now, Veterans Day is tomorrow, Saturday, November 11th.
Now, your first defense forecast with Dakota Hunter.
Well, happy Friday out there, everybody. I am cold from doing that live shot out there. Man, it is just frigid out there. We also had our first measurable snowfall of the season. This is a viewer photo that came into me on my Facebook page this morning. You can see some of the snow that is on the ground. It's not a whole lot of snow, but it is the first measurable snowfall we've seen so far this season. Thanks to Jacob for sending that picture in. And of course, we encourage you to send in your weather photos. You can send it to us on Facebook, or you can tweet them to me on Twitter. My handle is Hunters WX. Now, speaking about the cold, we have a shot of breaking some records today. The record low maximum high temperature for this day is 30. That was set way back in 1877. We're not even going to see a number close to 30 throughout the day, so we're likely going to shatter this record, not in a very good fashion. The record low for tonight is 10, set way back in 1991. I still think we're going to be a little above it, but we could definitely tie that record tonight. And just for comparison, the average high this time of the year is 49. So, woo, boy, just some pretty nasty cold out there. And here are the current temperatures at the airport locations. It's cold. We got 20 at Jamestown, 24 at Dunkirk, 24 in Erie, 22 in Buffalo, 22 at the Falls, 18 down there in Olean. Now, when we take in the wind to effect, we come up with the wind chill index, and the wind chill numbers are calculated on the sustained wind speeds. Look at this, 6. That's what it feels like right now in Jamestown, 12 in Dunkirk, 11 in Erie, 5 in Buffalo, 7 up at the Falls, 2 down there in Bradford, PA. So, man, it is just really cold out there today. Your weather almanac for today, your sunset comes up at 5 o'clock tonight. It's getting sooner and sooner. Your sunrise at 7:02 tomorrow morning. We don't need to worry about this particular record. The record high for this date is 72, set in 99. We don't have to worry about that. It's not going to be anywhere near that. And the record for this date, again, is 10, set back in 91. We could possibly tie that tonight. Lake temperature is 53 off Buffalo on Lake Erie and 54 in Lake Ontario off the coast of Rochester. First defense forecast for this Friday. A few early snow showers. It tapers off to a few flurries in the afternoon, and cold. High 24 degrees, once again, possibly breaking that record low max with that north-northwest wind, 12 to 18 miles an hour. And then for tonight, partly cloudy skies and very cold. Average low down to 11. Some of the colder spots, colder than that. We're probably talking upper single digits in some of the colder pockets. Again, the record is 10, set back in 1991. The wind starts to die down a little bit. It's still 6 to 6 to 12 early with gusts around 25. It does start to back off by early tonight, so the wind won't be as noticeable. But still, when you combine wind with a temperature like that, it's going to bring those feels like temperatures. Now, the weekend planning forecast, it's Friday, so we're all looking ahead to the weekend. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, partly to mostly sunny on average, and still a little cold. Average high this time of the year, again, is 49, will be around 35, but it won't be as frigid. And then for Sunday, the front that's plowing through the area now, that Arctic front, it starts to clear out Sunday, and that brings us a chance for a wintry mix, and the front pulls away. That rebounds our temperatures back into the mid-40s, so it's going to feel a little bit better come the second half of the week. Again, I took this picture this morning. First measurable snowfall we've had so far in Jamestown this season. Next 7 days of your life, and here we go. Now for next week, you can see we bring in partly cloudy skies with that high of 46. Still partly cloudy with a slight dip there on Tuesday with that high of 45, but we bring in more rain Wednesday with that high of 45 once again, and then we start to warm up a little bit more on Thursday with that high of 48. Ryan will have sports right after the break, so please stay with us.
WNY News Now is sponsored by Sound Rhythm Studio of Jamestown, partnered with Chautauqua Audio Works, offering lessons in Fredonia and Jamestown. Chautauqua Audio Works, where interest-free financing is just a phone call away. WNY News Now with Ryan Hedrick.
Coverage comes first means that we will put anything and everything we have on the line just so you know what's going on in your community. We have a lot to lose. We have our children to think about. We have our jobs to think about. How are we going to pay our mortgage? How are we going to pay our rent? How are we going to put food in the refrigerator? And if anything affects those things, we're going to report them. From crime to health to education, we will be there if it matters to you. That's what coverage comes first means to me.
WNY News Now.
Touted and talented. That sums up this year's St. Bonaventure men's basketball squad as they head into their 98th season of play. St. Bonaventure's success starts in the backcourt with sensational seniors Jalen Adams and Matt Mobley. Adams, a two-time All-American from Baltimore, is on 3 national watch lists. Matt Mobley averaged nearly 19 points a game and 6 boards. And Mr. Consistency, Idris Taki, started all 32 games last year. Bonnies are led by head coach Mark Schmidt, who enters his 11th season as the program's second winningest all-time coach with 165 wins. Tonight's opponent, Niagara, hasn't had much success against St. Bonaventure. The Bonnies have run off 6 straight wins against them. Tip-off at O'Reilly Center tonight, set for 8 p.m. New Jersey's Brian Boyle scored off a rebound in the first period against Edmonton last night. Boyle missed the entire preseason and the first 10 regular season games after being diagnosed with leukemia during training camp. Edmonton did beat the Devils 3-2 in overtime on Thursday. In the NFL, Seahawks Michael Bennett standing for the national anthem to honor members of the military and his father who was in the Navy. The NFL also celebrating Veterans Day. It was the Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Third quarter, Richard Sherman goes down and he injures his ankle. He would leave the game and not return. Action on the field, Russell Wilson. Look at this scramble. Oh my goodness, looks like he's going to get sacked at least 2 times. But no, he has the wherewithal to throw it downfield. An amazing completion. And then a couple of plays later, Graham in the end zone on the strike from Russell Wilson, and the Seahawks go on to beat the Cardinals. And word from the Seattle Seahawks is that Richard Sherman is out for the season after rupturing his Achilles. In the NBA, the much talked about Lonzo Ball shooting just over 30% for the first 11 games, had a really rough night in Washington last night. Look at him. He missed 9 of his last 10 field goal attempts, going 3 for 12. The LA Lakers were pounded by the Wizards, 111-95. From the Phone Zone Sports Desk, I'm Ryan Hedrick. It all unfolds here.
The Main Landing Restaurant Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. We love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the main landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The main landing restaurant, excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
WNY News Now with Matt Hummel.
It's more than being on scene at first. It's more than getting a report out there first. It's about what angle we take. Where do we go? Our coverage is original. Our coverage is a different angle than anyone else can even imagine in this city. We have something that's unprecedented, and we'll have an angle that nobody else can top.
The cold, the wind, the snow all have arrived here in Western New York. Our Dakota Hunter is back from the elements.
Yes.
With a look at your forecast once again. And actually, real quick, time out. He got here like just in time. After you were outside.
Yeah.
You came up, and as you were coming in, he was like coming in, and then like his weather intro played. You were like perfect in timing, man.
Well,
and you're also like really cold.
Yeah,
You
my
could,
hands
feel
are
his
like
hands.
completely icicles. I mean, it is just absolutely freezing out there. As a matter of fact, it was so cold this morning that when I came into the studio this morning, I actually turned the heated seats on in my car. And I usually don't do that. And it's just like, yeah, it's just a little bit nippy out there. I think maybe the heated seats might give me a little bit of comfort on my short ride here.
On your bum. So next week, though, this cold is kind of temporary. It's like like a hard Arctic freeze, and then we warm back up.
The good news is it's only a temporary little shot of Arctic air. Let's take a look at that 7-day one more time. And again, today, I don't think we're going to hit 30. I mean, that is definitely going to bust it's going to bust the all-time record low high temperature we've seen. Again, that was 30 set way back in 1877. We're more than likely going to just shatter that. We're going to stay pretty much in the lower to mid 20s throughout the day with a few more snow showers throughout the day. We don't expect much in the way of accumulation out of that. Now, tonight, the low temperature 11, the colder pockets, especially in the valleys, you're probably looking at single digits. And those wind chills today are really being brought down by the gusty winds that are going to be throughout the area. So bundle up in layers because the wind chill values teens to single digits wind chills, and that's going to continue throughout tonight. Tomorrow, we rebound a little bit, still cold with a high of 35. And then the Arctic front that's plowing through the region now that's bringing us all this cold air starts to pull away on Sunday. That rebounds our temperatures. And then we finally get back into somewhat more of a normal pattern for this time of the year. Average high is 49, and you can see we're going to be close to it come later next week.
So my question, the record high low?
Yes. Basically, there's two sets of records. Well, there's technically three sets of records that are kept in terms of temperatures. There's the all-time record high, the highest maximum temperature we've seen. And then there's obviously the lowest temperature that we've seen. And then there's another one called the record low high, which is the lowest observed high temperature for the day. And that's the record that we have a very good shot of breaking. Again, that's 30, and we're not going to see a number close to it today. So
that's like the third cousin that no one ever talks about.
Pretty much.
Except for when it's something
we usually don't talk about it too much unless we start getting into really cold Arctic air like this. Then we start pulling out, okay, we have a shot of breaking record low highs, and we're not going to be out of the whatever number. And so we usually don't talk about it too much. We usually talk about it during the winter months, but even then we usually don't talk about it too much.
Right. All right. Hey, thanks, sir, for going out battling the elements.
Well,
and it wasn't just you out there. Like Ryan was out there hanging out with you, running crowd control. Our new tech guy, Bill, was out there as well. So big weather team hanging out on 3rd Street. So
absolutely.
Good job.
You can tell I'm having an issue because I didn't I just came right up here in the exact same jacket you've seen. You can tell I didn't have a chance to route my IFB correctly, and now it's falling out of my ear because I don't have it routed correctly. But
all right. Hey, thank you, sir. We're going to leave you guys with a look at Laval Avenue in Jamestown, where they had quite a bit of snow on that pretty cold brick street. And that's going to do it for us today. Be sure to join us back on Monday. In the meantime, head to WNYNewsNow.com, get a nice book or your tablet, And
Get some hot cocoa.
Get some hot cocoa. I wanted to say, I screwed it up by saying the word book. I don't know why. Get your tablet, get on our website with your cocoa, and read the news. This is WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Have a great weekend.
See you Monday.